Hey everyone, and welcome back to my new YouTube series, Moves that every intermediate should know or learn. For episode 12 and today's focus, we have this composite pendulum pattern. This is a great pattern for intermediates because it teaches you a hand path that extends past a static hold or point without having to jump right into something that's a little more complex like anti-spin. Another great part of this move is that through its simplicity, it's very easy to change certain variables and come up with new variations, which we'll show one at the end of the video. Starting off with our right hand, we're going to place it down on our bottom anti-spin or cardinal point, and it's going to be spinning towards our right shoulder. When our static spin is passing the bottom of its rotation, we're going to lift our hand up to our non-native cardinal point. With your hand in a static position, hold the pendulum for a few beats, and when the pendulum hits its outside swing, you can then swing across your body to your native point to hold the pendulum again. When your poi reaches its outside point, you can then drop back down to the static spin where we started. The hand path at full speed would look like this, with no extra pendulum beats, as well as only a single static beat on bottom. Before moving on, make sure that you can do the hand path with no extra rotations. Now with our left hand, we'll be spinning the opposite direction towards our left shoulder with our hand once again at our south point. Once again, we're going to follow the same path and lift our hand up to our non-native point, where we'll hold the pendulum, and then eventually drag our hand across our chest over to our native point. Just like before, we'll then drop our hand down to the original static spin point that we started at. Practice this for a few rotations until you feel comfortable without any extra pendulums and with only a single static beat on your bottom point. Now to put both hand paths together with both poi. We're going to start off with our right poi down at our bottom point doing a static spin, while our left hand holds a pendulum right over top of it. Once comfortable, we're going to move our left and only our left hand out to its native side and hold the pendulum like we did in our previous drill. Then we're going to stop the momentum of our static spin on bottom so that both poi are hanging. From here, we'll switch the position of our hand so that our right hand is at our non-native and our left hand is down low. We'll kick up our static spin so that it's spinning towards our non-native poi and initiate a pendulum on our non-native hand. From here, we'll drag our right hand back to its native side, and then we can stop the momentum of our static spin on bottom and switch our hands just like we did on the other side, to then kick our static spin up towards our non-native poi and initiate the same pendulum on our non-native hand. Finally, we'll drag our pendulum across our static spin and end up in our original hand-native position. Now that we're comfortable with the basic hand shape, we're going to eliminate some extra beats and go for the hand switch in one motion, which will look like this. We'll reset with our other hand penduluming on top for a few beats to make sure that our pendulum passes by the correct way, and then do the hand switch just the same way on the other side with 0 extra beats. Make sure to take your time in this part of the drill, resetting your pendulum versus static poi so that it lines up before moving to the hand switch of the pattern. The hand switch of the pattern is definitely the hardest part of the move and will take the most focus. So if you're struggling, don't feel afraid to go back to the prior drill and try that a few more times. The final part of the pattern is eliminating the extra pendulum beats. We can do this by working ourselves to only 3 pendulum rotations on top before moving into our hand switch. After practicing with 3 pendulum rotations on top, you can then eventually switch into a single rotation, moving across your chest in a horizontal line from non-native to native. This will eliminate all extra beats in the pattern and leave you with the final result of the move. Like mentioned, there's several variations that you can do of this move, and the easiest and most reachable right away would be this behind the head pendulum variation. Adding the behind the head pendulum should be pretty intuitive once we have the base motion down. Okay everyone, that should conclude today's tutorial and episode number 12 of my series, Moves that every intermediate should know or learn. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Otherwise, my name's Connor, this has been a Full on Fire tutorial, and I'll catch you next time.